Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-October 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Leo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. I know you are. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me about these beautiful Leos here. What do we got going on for my friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Leos as we move in through mid-October, early to mid, right? There it goes. All right, so we have the Femme Fatale here. Very reminiscent of the Queen of Wands when I get this energy. Now, there are a lot of positives to this card, but there are some cautions when we see a Femme Fatale type of energy. Now, if we're talking about your how you're feeling on the inside, this could be a very good thing, right? But there's a level of temptation to her. Before we really dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about the Femme Fatale. So with the imagery here, you see her, she is dressed all up in red, and as a fire sign myself, I know we all look fabulous in red. So this Femme Fatale energy does feel Queen of Wands like to me. She's holding a rose, there's a cardinal in the picture, there's Venus flytraps as well. So do you kind of get what the symbolism is pointing at here? Yes, this is beautiful, it's confident, it's sexy. So a lot of you might have an extra little zest or pep in your step. However, there's a little sense of danger when we have the Femme Fatale type of energy. So there might be something you're dealing with, something that might be a little alluring to you or tempting. There might be a level of danger there, right? Or unseen or hidden. And I don't mean like danger, watch out, call the cops. You get what I mean. There's like a level of temptation with the Femme Fatale. Or we could just be looking at your confidence in this time, whether you're lacking it, which is a very rare thing for Leo, or you have an overabundance of it. So it's feeling okay here. But there could be something that is very appealing to you, that you know there's like something that's like forbidden fruit type of energy. Could it be how someone's looking at you as well? But we're just going to put that Femme Fatale right over there. Let's get into tarot. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. And as I always say, that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright, and we'll get into that intuitive juiciness here. So what do we got going on for the lovely Leos? Early to mid-October. And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. We did have some tower energy showing up. The reading was titled A Shocking Situation. Now, I always say towers, they're not all bad. Some towers could be good. But for a lot of Leos, you could be experiencing lots of big shakeups or things popping up out of nowhere. And I've been seeing that throughout the zodiac. Like, there's a lot of tower energy. There's a lot of energy of things just coming out of the blue, popping up out of nowhere. So if that has been happening, hopefully it hasn't been rough. But let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to, right? So let's get you 3 cards. Really start to break this down for my Leos. Let's build this story up. Let's see what's happening for my friends, please. Thank you. Card number 1. Okay, 3 of Swords. Yeah, so someone might not be feeling the best. So total opposite of what we have with the Femme Fatale. You know what that 3 of Swords is about if you watch tarot. I mean, it could be on a spectrum. We'll explain it more. So that's at least where we're starting here with some pain. Let's get you a couple more. What do we got here for Leo, please? Thank you. Okay, double 3s. We're already getting double 3s, my friends. 3 of Wands, manifesting, waiting. Okay, there could be somebody in a waiting pattern, a holding pattern. Let's get one more, and we'll really start to breeze through this. It's going to be a nuanced one, my friends. Okay, we have the 2 of Cups, all low-numbered cards here, my friends. So we're absolutely going to have to talk about this. I saw a lot of 2s and low numbers in the Aries reading as well. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I like that we have an even distribution of elements. We got air, we got fire, we got water. So we could be looking at a mixture of different things happening in different areas of life, different situations. The fire, air right next to each other, you know that could be a little volatile sometimes, but let's go through one by one. We'll really start to break this down. So yes, we are leading off with 2 3s. Interesting mixture here because threes generally represent more than two, and we also have a card of partnerships as well. So interesting. So these could be people around you. This could be someone you're connected to. We'll see how it all plays. But in position number one, the Three of Swords, the most, or one of the most iconic cards in the whole entire tarot deck. You see the three swords piercing right through that heart. And yeah, it's a card of pain. Now, I always say all of these cards are on a spectrum. It could be something very, very minor. You might just be a little gloomy, right? You might be a little annoyed. Something could be bugging you a little bit. This Three of Swords could also represent pain and heartbreak, broken heart, even betrayal in its worst case scenario. So I'm not wishing any of that energy on the Leos, but there could be something that's bothering you. If not you, once again, we could be looking at the energy of others around you. There could be someone you're connected to that's really going through a difficult time. And I'm kind of seeing that energy here, Leo, that the energy is kind of more focused on those around you as opposed to you, which is very odd. But let's keep moving over. And we'll see if this is a warning or not. But in the center, we have the Three of Wands. Once again, another three. So I would say watch the number signs and synchronicities. And this time, Spirit could be trying to send you a message. Okay, especially if you're seeing 333 and a lot of those power numbers show up for you. When I see the Three of Wands, you see that person there. They're standing, they're holding the wands, they're waiting. So there could be something you're waiting on. There could be something you're stepping back. Like not always just like walking away like Eight of Cups, but it's like, all right, pause type of energy. Or once again, there could be something you're like waiting to see the result or waiting to see how it plays out. This is also a big card of manifestation and creation, putting plans into action. So there could be something that's right around the bend when this card shows up. This doesn't represent a long wait. This represents like, okay, it's almost here. Something's about to happen type of energy when I have the Three of Wands. But just know your powers of creation, your powers of manifesting could be extra heightened when we have this card in the main part of the spread, specifically with all these low number energies and with the Three of Swords right next to it, we have a lot of the repeating numbers. Now, the Two of Cups, talk about this. Let's get this Three of Wands right back where it belongs. Okay, Two of Cups is a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful card. Now, all twos in tarot represent choices, decisions, being at a crossroads. Do I go left? Do I go right? It's a card of partnership, specifically the Two of Cups. These are people sharing their cups with each other. So this is a soul tie, a soul connection of some kind, whether it is romantic, whether it's a family member, a very good friend. There's a prominent emotional connection here, whether it's something you have, something you've lost, or something you're wanting when this Two of Cups is here. And like I said, very good, easy flowing, easy going type of energy, but the clarifier is really going to tell us the tale. And with all these threes, now we have the twos, there's not a lot of cards of the self. Normally in my readings, especially for Leo, like if we're seeing a lot of energy about the self, it comes through very easily. Like we're seeing the Strength card, we're seeing the Sun card, we're seeing the Six of Wands and a lot of fire. So like we might be focusing on like other people's energy and their influence on yours. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one, my friends, but obviously there's connection here. There's an emotional buy-in, okay, especially with the pain here and then the connection there. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Leo. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here from my lovely Leos, please. My guides, talk to me. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Three of Swords. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Leo, you can drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Three of Swords time. Let's see what that Three of Swords is doing. I want to speak on it. Yeah, there it is. Nine of Swords. Yeah, someone's going through something. This is a person that could be quite a mess over something. Okay, once again, not saying it's you. This is someone's mental state here, especially with the double swords. We have the Nine of Swords in the upright. This is a big card of anxiety, nervousness. So whatever this pain is stemming from, it could be causing somebody quite a lot of stress or nervousness and anxiousness. This is a card of sleepless nights, and it's also a sensitivity to energy as well. I link the Nine of Swords to like paranormal or energetic connections, even though it doesn't always look like it. It's just very empathetic when I have it. So just watch that the energy of those around you, which we've been seeing, isn't really overwhelming you. Same could be said if you're a cross watcher, right? Like, these are other people. So someone else's energy, someone else's mess might be influencing you in one way or another. But when we get the Three of Swords with the Nine of Swords, this is a very, very simple type of energy. There is someone who is definitely on edge, going through something, and they feel like, at least mentally, for the time being, they're a bit of a mess. Like, they're going through it. And once again, we're all human. We go through these waves. We go through these cycles. Whether it is just a little bit of stress, whether it is a little bit of anxiety, it will pass. That's the good thing about sword energy, is that it's not permanent. But for the time being, with how this energy is showing up, it's like someone who's really going through one. Okay, so whether you like that, whether you don't, I don't know all the things you're going through. Maybe you're like, oh, good. You know, for all I know, maybe your empathy goes out to this individual. Okay, could even be you. So let's just keep moving over. I don't want to get too tied up here. I feel like it's a very simplistic type of message. Spirit just saying that somebody's mind state, they're really going through one. So let's see what's going on with that Three of Wands. Like, they're not, like, this energy is not taking something easily. Like, it's taking something very difficult, or in a difficult way. So let's see why that Three of Wands is here. Thank you. Eight of Cups. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's somebody that feels like they just can't leave something alone, or they just can't let it be. With the Eight of Cups underneath the Three of Wands, like, intuitively, that's just what it's feeling like to me. And I could point back to that femme fatale that we had in the very beginning. It's giving me a very similar type of energy. It's like, all right, I love this. This is something I want. This is something that's beautiful to me, but deep down underneath, it might not be the best for me. And I know that, but I can't help it. I can't walk away from it, or I can't let something go. That's just what I'm feeling here intuitively. I'm not trying to get so deep here, my friends. Obviously, only take it if it applies. But when I get the Eight of Cups under the Three of Wands, I don't feel like it's somebody manifesting walking away from something. Maybe you are, right? That's a possibility. But to me, it's like, I can't get into this Eight of Cups energy, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold out hope, at least for a little bit. Like, I can't let this go just yet. That's the energy I'm picking up. Simple, straightforward. I feel like Spirit's giving me the energy in these messages very, very quickly, which is a common thing for Leo readings, right? Fire signs, they're usually very straight up with their feelings and things that they're going through. And I'm feeling that in the beginning or in the middle. It's like, all right, I can't let this go for whatever reason. Let's move over to the Two of Cups. Obviously, only take it if it hits. I mean, you would know what's best for you, right? If there is something you can't quite let go of, or you can't quite move on from, it could even be something as small as a habit that I'm picking up here. It doesn't have to be a person. It could just be a habit or a way of acting or being. It's just very difficult to move on from it. That's just what I'm picking up. Let's see why that Two of Cups is here. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card, my friends. So why is the Two of Cups in the mix for the Leos? Okay. Six of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of history here. So if we are looking at the energy of somebody you're connected to, even if it isn't like a lot of history in the physical right now, like let's say we're talking about a person you met like a short time ago, there's like even possible past life connection and karmic energy here. The Six of Cups is another soul connection card. So when I see it with the Two of Cups, it's like, all right, you know this, you both know this. There is something a little deeper here, all right, than your normal connection. So whether that is romantic, whether that it is family or friends, like this has a lot of history to it, even if you don't know all the history, like I said. Now, the Six of Cups is a card of memories. You might find yourself in this time really thinking about the good times with rose-colored glasses. You might be thinking about the challenging times. There could be a lot of reminiscing, specifically if you talk to someone you have a lot of history with, right? Thinking back like, hey, do you remember when we did this? Or do you remember when we went there? Do you remember when so-and-so did this? That's kind of the energy I'm picking up. But I feel like this is Spirit just saying like, no, this isn't just a run-of-the-mill type of individual. This is a very deep soul connection that's being focused on back here, right? And you know me, I don't consider myself a love reader whatsoever. But for some of you, it could absolutely be, because half of the spread is cups now, right? We started with an even distribution. 5 of the 6 cards are internal energy. When we have swords, when we have cups, those are the inside, the mind and the heart. So there's a lot of internal energy happening here across the board. Let's go in and do a quick little recap. Then we'll get into the shadows, see if we have some more stuff in the shadows. But it's pointed out that this is a very clear, strong soul connection. Let's do the shadow card here. Or, you know, let's do a quick recap first. If you kindly look in the box Position number 1, we have the double up on the sword energy. We have the 3 of swords with the 9 of swords, and this is somebody really going through something, right? So whether it's anxiety, whether it's nervousness, it's things like that. Someone's on edge, and internally, at least mentally, they could be feeling a little messy, right? They're really going through something, and it could move by very quickly. But as we get to the center, we have the 3 of wands with the 8 of cups in the upright. Somebody who can't quite let go of something. They can't move past it. They can't move on from it. Either they can't or they don't want to right now for whatever reason. And it all goes back to this femme fatale energy that we had, right? Where we had this, all right, yeah, this is something I really want. This is something I love, but there's something about it that's just not quite right. Now, moving to the very back end, we have the 2 of cups with the 6 of cups in the upright. 2 huge cards of soul connection, soul ties, soul mates. And I was saying that there's a lot of history here in spirit really pointing out that this isn't a run-of-the-mill type of connection. Even if we're looking at the energy of someone you've met recently, there might be like past life history here. And you know I don't usually go that way with these cards. But somebody you have a ton of history with here is showing up heavily, and you could be doing a lot of reminiscing. So please, Leo, take a screenshot of that. Let's see what's in the shadows. Maybe we'll get a little more information here. So let's shuffle it up and see what's in the shadows for my Leos. And yes, my friends, I always like to end off the reading like this. I feel like it's a nice thing to do, whether it's within you, whether it's something you don't quite see. Shadow cards could be quite revealing. And yes, while we get this card out, I just want to let everybody know, like if you made it this far in the video, you could check out channel memberships. I'll put a link to it down in the comments. This is the last week to join, and I'll be doing a personal spread for everyone that joins. And this is the last week for that. So let's get this card out, just in case you're interested. Obviously, no pressure. But let's see what we have here in the shadows for Leo. Thank you. Ace of Swords. So the mind is a very, very important thing. The sword of truth, seeing things clearly. So spirit could be saying like, hey, you need to like use your brain here, or you need to look at something logically. Maybe don't go into this cup energy and think with your head here. That's a big thing with the sword of truth. Now, for some of you, maybe you are. Maybe you're on a quest for some sort of knowledge or information, and you're like, all right, I need the truth of it. I need the sword of truth type of energy. And that energy could come through for you, right? If you're trying to get a piece of information or you're trying to see the truth of it, absolutely. But another thing with the Ace of Swords, it's a card of removing certain things out of our lives. Right? The Ace of Swords can cut things away. So it's all about your mindset, your mind state. That's a huge thing here. And there might be something you need to just move past or move through. Okay, same if you're a cross watcher. So I'm going to put that down right there, Leo. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the September subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for October, I'll be going back to one of the classics. I'll be giving away 2 copies of the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of the most beautiful decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments if there's a zodiac sign that you clash with. If so, which signs do you kind of bump heads with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of October, your name will be announced in the community tab, my friends. As always, much love, and I'll see you next time.